Hello, my name is Lynn Finch with another weekly episode of the No-Cash Allowance. Financial literacy classes won't help your kids pay their bills. Most kids use money for discretionary spending simply because they can. Kids don't have expenses, but they should. As parents, you will want to get your kids in the habit of paying for necessary expenses, so you won't be supporting them as adults. According to a February 2023 survey by savings.com, 45%, that's almost half, of parents support at least one adult child. And the average monthly price tag of that financial assistance is $1,400. You want to teach kids to pay their bills while they're growing up, so you won't have to when they're adults. You might wonder, how much money? Kids need some money that has to be earmarked for expenses, and you can tailor these to their age and their interests. One example would be if they take some kind of a lesson, they put $1 or $2 a week out of their money towards that lesson. And this can start the first time they're starting to be involved in activities where you might be paying the fee and you want them to have a little skin in the game. As they get older, you can increase this. So by the time that they're teenagers, they could be paying for most of their day-to-day expenses. This is going to be a great lesson for them before they head out into adulthood when they're 18. How much responsibility, you might say? Well, when they are having to manage their own expenses, it's completely up to them to manage it in their account, subtract it on time, or pay it however the situation is set up. And if they are late, you can assess a late fee. Or if it's a timed event and they don't pay it on time, they miss the event. It gives them natural consequences, the kinds of consequences adults have when they don't pay their bills on time. Again, you're going to tailor these to be age-appropriate expenses, depending on what your kids are interested in. How much control? Complete control. If they don't pay their expenses on time, they will have a consequence that is predetermined, so they know what's going to happen. Teaching kids to pay their bills creates a good habit. It puts something in their mind that says, I have this money, but I have to use it for certain things. It may be a lesson. It may be going to a camp. It may be some other activity. Eventually, especially with our kids, and many parents do this, you will transfer them to money to them that they can buy part of their clothing supply. You might still supply the basics, but they could buy the trendy, the fashion things that they want at whatever age they're at. Again, it's putting this in their control so they can make the decisions as to what to buy. Kids want money. They want to be in control of their money, and they can manage age-appropriate expenses. In fact, most kids would enjoy that satisfaction of knowing that they used part of their money to pay for something that they are involved in, something they are interested in, other than just buying for entertainment, toys and games and maybe food and things like that. And the amount of the payment is not nearly as important as getting them in the habit of recording this expense in their account. When kids pay their bills or their expenses, they're going to develop a lifelong mental idea in their head that says, I have to take care of these expenses. And as an adult, you have to take care of your expenses first before you can have any money left over to save or invest. You have to manage your expenses. Giving kids some appropriate expenses is a good lesson, and it can start as early as preschool. Here's an allowance anecdote, one of my favorites. A young teen wanted to attend a baseball clinic in January. His mom decided to transfer the application fee to his account in November. She explained that he was responsible for paying the fee on time. If he didn't, he would not be going to the clinic and would have to refund the money to his parents. She told me her intent was for him to have that extra money sitting in his account with the knowledge that he had to save it, that he couldn't spend it because he needed it for a future expense, for something that he wanted to do. He managed to not spend it. He paid the fee on time and went to the baseball clinic. Next week, I'm going to talk about starting the school year with your kids buying their own school supplies. Now, here's an expense that will go with them every school year. So you can start a habit that they will get in their minds that every year I need to buy supplies and I'm using my own money. Of course, it's money that you are transferring to them to control, but they have the control and the responsibility to manage it appropriately. Thanks for listening. And when your kids learn to manage their money as a number, which is essential to managing expenses and income, they will become better money managers. You can click on the link below to visit my website and read the complete blog about this topic. And please subscribe. Thanks for listening.